Okay, here they go. So the first thing that's going to happen is there is a pipe with a piranha plant in it. And that's the first real trick of the game. You have to do a super jump to get over that. And a super jump requires you actually letting go of A at a particular time in order to make that jump. Both runners did not go for that, and they took a safer strat. There is a possibility of dying to the piranha plant if you push it too close. Both racers on a very decent pace. Nothing really could, outside that super jump, usually goes wrong in the intro stage. This race has 6 different zones. They're going to start with Tree Zone, which is right here. Most of these have 3 to 4 levels. This level in particular, you can learn so many different routes and get the same time at the end. As you can see, some Pro A is taking more of a bottom route, while Samurai is taking more of a top route. There's only a couple of things that you could do differently to be faster, and those require corner boosts. A corner boost is when you hit the corner of a block jumping up on the right-hand side, and it pushes you forward a frame or two, which inevitably will save time the more and more you do those, but a very fractional amount. The end goal usually is 444, which is what Samurai got over here. And we got a 440 for Pro A, so it's still an extremely close race. The shtick for this room is that you can get stuck in the jelly, and it really slows you down. So right now, as you can see, Samurai is tapping A to stay above the jelly as much as possible. He takes damage there intentionally in order to save time by not going on that top route of the jelly. And you can see both runners were able to do that just fine. We call this the shaft, and you just go down and avoid those cowfish. This is a unique power-up to this game. That's not in the NES and the Super NES franchises of Mario. It's called the carrot, and it gives you bunny ears. And what you can do is if you tap repeatedly, you can float indefinitely as long as you mash fast enough. And as you could see with Samurai just there, he was trying to get into that pipe. Pipes only have a 7 pixel window of being able to enter it. So pipes can seem like they're almost unenterable sometimes. Right now, he had to get one of those super jumps, Samurai did, in order to be able to jump off that block and get up to those platforms. And that cuts this level, into like a third of what it usually would be. As you can see with Pro A, he had to make his way over to another platform. And now he's climbing and catching back up. At the end of this race, which is a castle, that's the final zone, if you'd like to call it that, and that is extremely dangerous. And this 30-second difference that we're at right now could easily switch back and forth over and over again. We got some really solid gameplay by Samurai. Oh, until he tried to go back and fell through those blocks there. Dying in Tree 4 is one of the scariest places to die, because now he has to play the whole level without bunny ears. And as you can see, it's a lot slower than it was before. You can see that Pro A is going over and deciding not to go for that power-up. Oh, but he has fallen as well. I was just about to change the audio, but as you can see, switching back and forth. There is a carrot block that is close to the bell of this level, about halfway through, and they can use that to, catch up and play it a little bit safer. So right now they're both playing the level, quote-unquote, as intended, neither going for the bell for safety. Samurai skips over the block where the carrot would be, but he does have a power-up, so he's able to get the fire flower, which he's going to use to beat the boss. Still not over yet for Samurai because it is still a dangerous area, and he's made it to the boss. He's just going to spam B to shoot a whole bunch of fireballs, and that's one of the easiest boss kills. And we have Samurai getting his first coin. Now we have Pro-A, who's trying to do a small Mario kill on the boss, because it looks like he got the bell to skip the first half of the level. He's opting to take his time on these platforms to not get another death. This stage is interesting. Commonly referred to as the bubble stage, as you can clearly see. Though, if you get the bubble without having P-speed, it goes a lot slower than if you get it normally. There is another place where you can get another bubble to potentially speed it up. We'll see if Samurai goes for it. Yeah, I think he's about to pop his bubble and then get the bubble here so he has some speed. Yeah, there we go. And as you can see, it's twice as fast until you take damage and lose it. Now he has to swim under because there's a couple of jumps you can't make to get over. Yeah, and that the exit that he just took, unfortunately, does not take him to where he wanted to go. You have to take the top exit in order to get to the next zone, which is the star zone. As you can see, Pro-A has got the bubble the first time, and now they're both on their way. And I got to switch over my audio. Okay, and Pro-A has come out ahead and heading into Star Zone. This zone, this particular level, you go marginally, can't get that word out of my mouth. You go slightly faster when you're walking on the ground than you do in the air. So as you can see, both of the speedrunners are going to utilize as much ground time as possible to make sure they get the best time coming out of this level. Though you have to play it a little bit differently as Small Mario because, as you can clearly see on Samurai's side, usually you have a fireball there and you're able to kill that pig. So you have to take a different route to avoid enemies. There's also a faster way to go across those spikes that involve you landing on one and taking damage. So both of those options are not available as Small Mario. But Pro-A is able to get through there without any hassle. And Samurai is only about 30 to 40 seconds behind. He was able to jump over that pig. Oh, and then he crashed into the back end of that rocket. So hitboxes in this game are very finicky. And when I first started running this, there was a lot of times I'd jump on something and I would actually take damage even though I was on top of it. But if Mario is considered to be accelerating upwards, no matter where you are in relation to that enemy, if you touch its hitbox, you will take damage from it. So you have to make sure you're on a downward slope before you touch an enemy. Pro-A is over in the Star 2, and this song is commonly referred to as the Star Song, which a ton people really enjoy. This is one of the best soundtracks to the game, depending on your opinions, but commonly referred to as that. Basically, this level is a maze that you have to go through in order to, try to keep your power up throughout the whole thing. It's a good 2-minute break for the runner as he collects himself going into the rest of the run. There isn't a lot of difficult maneuvers here. once you know the actual route through the maze. If you don't know the route through the maze, it could be difficult. The area that Pro A is in at the moment happens to be one of the ones that, you could potentially take damage. But there's at least 4 power-ups that I know of, if not more, in this level. So if you do take damage, there's always a chance to get one back. And that's one of the places on Pro A side where you can get an extra flower if you need it. I almost said star flower. That is not accurate. And we got Pro A at the last stretch of this little maze, and he's about to go fight could be considered the hardest boss of the area. Oh, Samurai taking damage, sending him back to Small Mario. But there's a power-up right there. Yeah, he got it. Let's see how Pro A handles the Tatanga. He's opting for a safer route, and he's just going to flout and jump on his head. What the standard route is to fly up to him and mash Fire Flower and shoot some fireballs at him, and then try to jump on him a couple of times. And depending on how you do that, you can get a 1 or a 2 cycle. But in a race setting, playing it safe like that is perfectly okay and usually expected. We'll see if Samurai goes for a faster Tatanga to demonstrate it. We're now on to our third zone, which is going to be Macro Zone. Here, there's some pretty challenging platforming depending on how fast you want to take it. Because you can see that there is water on the ground, and that water will immediately kill you if you fall in. And you have to ride these small platforms in order to, stay safe throughout the level. There's a fire grab right where Pro A is, but since he already had fire, since he didn't go for a faster Tatanga like Samurai is, then he didn't have to go for it. Samurai unfortunately got Tatanga in a stun, and he wasn't able to time it appropriately in order to get the stomps, but luckily he got the bell, so he doesn't have to play the level all over again. This unfortunately means he only has 1 power-up to try to kill him, and it's going to be the mushroom he's just about to get. Pro A is playing very cleanly through the rest of this level, and got up into the secret exit. Oh dear, one of the main runners of this game just mentioned in chat that he's worried about the lives remaining of Samurai. If you don't soft reset, but luckily he just did, if you don't soft reset, there's a chance of game overing once you get down to 0. And not a chance, it's guaranteed to game over if you don't soft reset. And then you lose all the coins you've gathered. But it looks like Samurai was able to soft reset, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Pro A is in the second auto-scroller of the run. Another little break before things get serious, heading into the next more difficult zones. Samurai is looking to play it safe, getting 3 stomps while floating, and now he's got his second coin, moving on to Macro Zone. The significance to the coins is that you need all 6 of those coins in order to open the door to the castle, and that castle is where Wario is and is in the final area. Oh, if you're talking about just coins that you're collecting and not the 6 golden coins, there's the coin count has no factor in this one. Pro A is playing a very consistent and safe Macro 4 until I said something, of course. But he was able to get that last backup Fire Flower, and he's able to go into the boss with a Fire Flower. This boss requires you to be in a specific position in order to mash it fast enough. But as you can see, Pro A is taking it safe and just not risking not mashing fast enough and taking damage. Samurai is going for the faster strat across that platform in Macro 1. And Pro A with his third coin. Those fire blocks on Samurai's side that are above the pipe can only be unlocked if you destroy them with a fireball. And if you don't do that and take the secret exit, there's 2 more. I'm pointing at the screen. That doesn't help anybody. There's 2 more levels you would have to play instead of this auto scroller. And they're both difficult levels and would take significantly longer. So they take the secret exit in order to save some time. We have Pro A in the pumpkin zone. Just cruising through, playing it extremely safe, extremely easy. There's nothing real notable about here until you get to the stairs. These stairs can really slow you down if you don't land on them right. And if you lose the fire flower, they become twice as more difficult because you have to kill enemies on the stairs and try to avoid them if you don't have it. We're now in Pumpkin 2 in Pro A. On Pro A side, this is another level that is pretty straightforward until you get about halfway through. Samurai completing the auto scroller with ease and going into the last area of Macro Zone. Up here, there's a way to maneuver the booze quickly by facing right when you go up that pipe, but Pro A, again, playing it safe, using race strats and facing right to make sure the boos fall far enough so he doesn't take damage from them as he goes up. Opting to get the star for safety on Pro A side, and now he's about to finish Pumpkin 2 and head into Pumpkin 3. Samurai going for his rat kill to get his third coin. Samurai went for the jump method. You can either move forward or jump and mash, and he jumped and mashed and was able to kill the rat and without it approaching him too closely. I'm going to mute for 1 second as I cough. We have Pro A doing some, well, you could do quick falls there by letting go of B. If you walk off an edge when letting go of B, you fall a lot faster than when holding on. But he just played it safe and didn't go for any of the strats. Which, again, that saves a minor amount of time. We're talking much less than a second. So it's definitely not worth worrying about in a race setting. And we got Pro A cleanly getting through Pumpkin 3 and heading on to the last Pumpkin Zone. The last level in Pumpkin Zone. Samurai's played very cleanly through his Pumpkin 1. And again, it seems like there's a lot of time in between the players right now. But the castle, if you die halfway through the castle, it could easily flip-flop who's in the lead. Oh, a mechanic that I missed talking about earlier. If you spin jump on a block that contains a power-up, it'll come through the top and you'll immediately grab it, which is unique to this game. And Pro A just did that to get the carrot. It's very important to have the carrot for this next boss, which is the witch, because after you beat this boss, you want to go to a water level that you can fly completely over if you have the carrot. We're going to take some time and talk about how the witch mechanics work. Basically, there's a 75% chance of the first witch appearing on the right, and there's always a 75% chance of it appearing, on the left first, and then there's always a 75% chance of it trying to change to the opposite side of the room. So the most likely pattern is left, right, left. A lot of runners will hover over the witch with the bunny ears in order to try to predict that. But Pro A played it completely safe, played it in the middle, which only if done quickly loses about a little over a half a second compared to buffering where you think the witch is going to be. And now he's going into Turtle 1, the flyover stage. And again, you have to mash in order to stay floating. So mashing faster will help you not lose any altitude, but you can also hold on to A and just fall gradually. There's a couple places in Turtle 1 where you can land and recatch. He's going to have to recatch here. Yep, he made it over the tall pillar, and now he's at the end. This level is very difficult to play without the carrot. So if you lose the carrot in the witch fight, there's a backup strat to go to a different level to get a carrot before you go back there. Turtle 2, which is this water level that Pro-A is in, is one of the most RNG-based levels. So there's two different speeds you can get while swimming, and in order to control it, well, unfortunately, you can't. What you have to do is you have to reset it by either touching the ground or jumping out of the water, and it's pretty much a 50-50 roll whether you get fast swim or slow swim. And over the course of the run, you can, I think in the next level, there's a short section of water. You lose about half a second to a second of time based on if you have slow swim or fast swim. So this whole level, every time he goes into the water through the pipe or in, it's rolling whether he's getting slow swim or fast swim, which can add up to a lot of time variation in between ones. Samurai now has his fourth coin, and he's going to head into Turtle Zone. And I believe he kept his carrot, so he's going to fly over the water stage. And it looks like we were rated by SpeedGaming 4. Welcome to SpeedGaming, where we're racing Super Mario Land 2 Glitchless Tournament. Right now, Pro-A is powering through some roadblocks with damage boosts, and he does that intentionally in order to beat the level faster. Going into what is considered the most difficult level of this run outside of the castle, and this is Turtle 3. It requires a lot of precise jumps to stay safe, to avoid losing your power-ups too early. And then the goal is to end with a fire flower to fight the boss with. But that fire flower grab over here is difficult to do depending on what strat you do. He is opting to go under and grab it. An interesting mechanic that didn't happen, but worth mentioning, is if you have a mushroom and you activate a block that has a fire flower and you take damage and go to Small Mario, if you grab the fire flower, you skip Super Mario and go straight to Fire Flower Mario. And it looks like Pro-A played Turtle 3 very cleanly and is now onto the fifth boss. With the octopus, you just have to mash A and B at the same time, and you will swim and shoot at the same time, and he always goes straight up, so it's pretty consistent to beat if you have the fire flower. All of these bosses become extremely different if you don't have the right power-ups when you fight them. It looks like Samurai is in the middle of a clean Turtle 2, while Pro-A got his fifth coin and is heading into the last zone. This is one of the most platform-heavy sections in the whole game. And there's an area where you can do a super jump in order to skip a couple of these jumps, but Pro-A just went straight for the, the easier path that doesn't require it. And it only lost 5 in-game seconds. An in-game second is about 0.8 seconds in real time. He lost his power up here, but he might go for, yep, he went for the carrot just to play it safe. Samurai went for the fast fire grab in Turtle 3, but he unfortunately wasn't able to get it and took damage. But there's one more chance for him to get a fire flower, which he just missed because he took more damage. So now he's going to end this end this level with a mushroom, and you'll have to take on the boss with just the mushroom, which means he's going to have to swim on top of him and jump on top. And Pro-A flying over most of this level and grabbing another power-up to stay safe. And it looks like Samurai got a clean kill. He took 1 damage, but hey, he survived, and now he's going on to Mario Zone as well. I'm going to mute for one more cough. I apologize. Pro-A was able to grab the carrot at the end of this level and is now going to head into Mario 3. And Mario 3 is a level that is extremely easy with the carrot. If you have it with a different power-up, you have to do a lot of different platforming in order to make it through. There's spikes all over the ground, and a lot of those jumps aren't possible to just jump over without using some of the mechanics of this level, which are floating cannonballs that follow those chains. But Pro-A played it extremely cleanly and is now moving on to the second portion of it. He's playing it safe and keeping his power up, trying to keep his bunny ears as long as possible. The strats for not a race, you usually just take damage there and use the conveyor belt to excel. But again, it's always better to have a power up and to not game over than it is to go fast and game over later in the race setting. We're on the last level before the castle with Pro-A. This level, comparatively to the rest of Mario Zone, is much easier. There's only one section that requires semi-specific platforming, and that's coming up on the patented Lego stairs. But since he has bunny ears, he's going to just take it nice and slow and flutter so he doesn't have to worry about taking damage from those 4 Goombas there. We're only about a level and a half away from Samurai and Pro-A, but all it takes is 1 death in the castle to switch who's in the lead. Here we have the Piggy Fight. There are 3 piggies, as you can clearly see, kind of representing the fairy tale between the piggies and the wolves who blow their house down. And there is an extremely safe place to stand and shoot them, as you can see Pro-A took, and took that fight with ease. That is an easy place to lose your power-up, and the pig fight becomes much more difficult without the power-up because they bounce all over the level. Samurai is playing Mario 3 there very smoothly and getting through with an excellent time. But now we're on to the castle. And the most dangerous part of the whole run. One thing not mentioned is all of these little intersections, you have to put in an input in order to move to the next section. And they're difficult to time, as well as, you can't buffer them, so you have to wait and then respond really quickly. Let's focus on Pro-A as he handles his castle. He's playing it safe and avoiding taking damage from the big fire, but I think he intentionally took that one so he could get through that area. And then the rest of this castle is pretty oftenly done as Small Mario. But he made it through the first room, which is one of the most difficult parts of this castle. This floor right here, he has to ride these propellers. And this last one he's about to jump on right here, he has to... he did it perfectly. He waited for it to come out, jumped on it, and made it through. We have a very clean castle by Pro-A right now. Unless Pro-A makes a big mistake, he's got this in the bag. Samurai is just about to head to the castle. Oh, and there's the mistake. Easily could happen anytime. jumped a little too soon to get onto that platform. And now it's only about 10 seconds in between Pro A and Samurai. And you can lose 10 seconds by playing the castle safe. We'll see what Samurai does if he goes for the world record style strat, or if he's going to play safe. He did go for the super jump, but he was able to follow up cleanly. Back to Pro A, going back up the set of stairs. Yeah. And as you can see, they're now right at the same spot because Pro A was playing safe and Samurai is going for gold. Samurai is jumping to get over, and he's spawning the other platform early so he can jump through. See, all it takes is a little bit of playing it safe, and using other strats can get you extremely far ahead. But this race isn't over yet. Anything can happen. So we got Pro A on his second time going over these platforms, and he made it smoothly just like Samurai did. I'm going to try to switch this audio while everything's going on here. We got the mushroom grab by Samurai that was extremely clean. And Pro A opting to get the fire flower early so he can play it nice and safe. During this whole time, I forgot to mention, they were getting 99 kills. And on your 100th kill, you get a star. And as you can see on Samurai's screen, he just got his 100th kill. And now it makes these last rooms super easy because he has a star to kill the faces. And so doesn't Pro A. This race is neck and neck. Anything can happen. If you don't spawn the right Wario RNG, then it could slow you down just enough for Pro A to take the lead. Samurai getting the super clean first kill by jumping on the chair. Pro A not so lucky. Now he's gonna have to play this room a little bit slower. Samurai also did not get the correct spawn to drop the correct RNG to drop Wario early, but he was able to kill it with ease. Kill him with ease. Wario as a person. Pro A on the second room and Samurai on the last room, and we're gonna call time for Samurai in 3, 2, 1. Samurai pulled through with a 32-27, and not more than 20 seconds behind, we have Pro A about to finish Wario. 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, not even 20 seconds. I think he beat him at 42. What a race. That came down to the wire. Like I said, the castle can turn everything around. I am going to jump onto Discord and send these people invites to get some interviews because they both had an excellent run. It couldn't come much closer. Let me copy this. Oh, I can just put it in the race room. That would probably be the easiest. So I just sent them the link so they can jump in and do an interview. I gotta mark them done. Hold on 1 second. So I'm gonna mark Samurai done. Oh, somebody already did it. Oops. My apologize. I will fix that by undoing this one and then doing it again. Welcome in. Welcome in, Pro A. How did you feel?
Well, it's a little disheartening to find out I lost after the fact, but
If it makes you feel better.
I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead after Tree Zone finale. So.
Yeah, you were able to recover really well, and you had a great run after that.
Yeah, until Wario. Yeah, that was just a bad input. I think I was just a little soft on my jump input, and yeah, that ultimately did sink me. But yeah, other than that, I was playing it around 29-30-ish pace. I'd say 29-30, 29-40. So yeah, it was just too bad. It was Tree Zone finale and Wario. Otherwise, I played fine, I think.
Yeah, honestly, this race was neck and neck. You were a level and a half ahead up until Wario, but you played extremely well for a big chunk of that. We have potentially Samurai joining us, but what do you think is your biggest highlight? Like what did you do in this run that you sometimes miss in PB attempts? Is there anything that stood out to you?
I thought my stretch from about Pumpkin to Wario was pretty strong overall. I thought I was, I finally found my rhythm at that point. And really, even though I was still going a little over my PB splits, it was only like it was about 16 seconds, and I was really hustling. So I was pleased overall with my play. Right up until that bad jump, I thought I was really in a good rhythm.
Yeah, I honestly I didn't expect it all. Ironically, I was talking about how one small mistake could completely change things. Just regarding anything, and then immediately as I finished that sentence, I felt awful.
So that was that psychic shift I felt. Oh well, but Wario, as I've said to other people, Wario's castle is, in terms of difficulty, is so far out of proportion to the rest of the game that it feels like a separate game altogether.
Yeah, it's completely. It requires much more accurate inputs. Even if you play it casually, the castle can be extremely difficult. It doesn't matter if you're speedrunning it or playing it as slow as possible.
Yeah.
I honestly find it's easier to speedrun it than it would be to play it casually, even if you have experience in the game.
Yeah, because there is a certain rhythm to it all that lends itself, I think, to speedrunning. But so yeah, it's not those little mistakes notwithstanding. Overall, I thought I did fine. GG, Samurai.
Yeah, welcome. Great game.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. First off, GG on that run, Pro. That was very rough. I thought it was funny because I died a couple of times there in Tree Zone, just trying to get to the boss, and then I looked over and saw that you were like right in the same area, so I was like, "Oh man, this is going to be close."
You too, huh? I wasn't watching your stream, but that I had a bad hit. I had a bad hit with a Paragoomba, and that kind of threw me off, and that kind of spiraled me out of control a little bit.
Well, I went to get that fire flower there near the end of right before the boss, and when I did the safe strat by not doing the no stop. But when I tried to jump out from getting the fire flower, I just fell straight into the pit, and then it was just downhill from there. And then I ended up getting to Bubble Zone, or the bubble level, and I took the wrong exit. I didn't even know that exit existed, to be honest.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what you're gonna do, because you honestly can't make it up to the area even with any amount of super jumps without AM.
I didn't even know that. I saw the exit, and I was like, okay, well, I'm safe. And then I go in, and I'm like, oh, crap. And then I have to turn right back around and go back to Bubble so I can do the whole level over again. Oh, that was really nerve-wracking. But luckily, I was able to get a really, really strong second half. But by that point, I knew I was so far behind, I had to go balls to the wall. I couldn't slow down. I had to keep going fast. And luckily, it paid off, though.
I wasn't keeping tabs on yours at all, so I was just kind of, just going along and playing blind. And when I didn't see any dot done, I was like, no way, like this can't be. And only 16 seconds, as it turns out. Like, well, that's not at all what I expected.
Oh no, I agree with that completely. It turned out a lot closer than I thought. So GG on the run. I know it can be rough, but it was I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good run. I'm glad that it ended up being really close.
Yeah. That if not for really the deaths, I was looking at around a 29-ish or mid 29 time. I figured based on.
What did you die at in Wario? Was it like a lava pit, or did you make it all the way to Wario?
Lava pit. I mistimed a jump. I mishit a jump input going across the crumble blocks.
I got you.
I was just short on a jump.
It was the last section with the block in the middle of it, and he just didn't hold A long enough and was just short of that.
Block. I've lost runs there before, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it was about a
Samurai.
It was a 3/4 jump.
Samurai, you really you nailed that castle. You went for everything, and if you didn't go for everything, that 16 seconds is what put you ahead. So yeah, you knew to go for every single strat you could.
Oh, absolutely. And the funny thing about it is that if I was actually using my real splits, because all I had was just a timer on there, if I was using my real splits, that would have been a goal. Because I've tried so many times to get going for every single strat, and I've failed so many times, and it just so happened to work out on this race. So yeah. I guess it was now as good a time as any for it to actually work for me. I was really happy to see that.
Yeah, you only missed the first super jump onto the first Piranha Blaster.
I found it to be a little more consistent for me if I don't make that super jump, because then it gives me better timing for the jumps on the following fire flower plants.
So you intended to do that?
Yeah. Now, if I can get the super jump, I'll take it because I know that it's a little bit faster. But with that little bit of speed difference, it makes the timing of the jumps a little bit more difficult, in my opinion. So normally when I'm just practicing, I don't even really go for the super jump. I really just I'll take the damage boost there, knowing that it's a more consistent setup for me.
Well, it completely 100% paid off for you. Is there anything in the middle of the run that stood out to you as something above your PB pace, or something that you usually don't get that you were able to get during the run?
Honestly, a lot of the strats that I went for throughout the run in that second half, I usually go for most of those. My current PB is a 27-23, I believe. So I have a decent time. A lot of those levels I can run, nonstop without problem. I think that the biggest difference for me, though, especially was I think I did really well on Castle #1, but then on Mario Zone, I had a little bit of trouble on Mario 1, but the rest of the level I think I did pretty well. So that was a little bit of a shock to me. I was really hoping I'd get a good Mario Zone, and luckily it actually happened.
Yeah, and then you had really smooth pig kills, I believe.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is I've been doing practice this entire week, and for the entire week I've been screwing up that fight. I've been getting hit by the third piggy, losing my fire flower. So I'm actually glad that didn't happen to me this time, because he likes to jump around the room really fast.
Yeah.
And your Tatanga also was Pro A took it completely safe and just waited for him to drop.
Yeah, I generally do, but even if I had more practice in that strat, after what happened in Trees Zone, don't take chances here. Just
a
lot of my fire flower for macro 1, so I can just bury and just burn through those opening enemies.
Honestly, macro 1 is just so much safer. Especially if you don't start small Mario. But I believe our block is about to end soon. So do either of you have any closing statements you want to make?
not the way I wanted to go, but it was fun. You know, I take some positives from this. It was fun, and GG Samurai. Good luck against Adam.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, and GG for you as well. It turned out to be a really good race. So, regardless, we both made mistakes, so it's not like it was a completely lopsided victory one way or the other. We were able to make it really close and exciting. So, thank you for a really good race.
Yeah, all of a sudden my voice was raising.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how everything goes next time with Adam there. I'm going to have to really practice, because if I make those kind of mistakes, there's no way I'm going to make it through that run.
Yeah, and as O'Deer pointed out, it's double limbs, so, you know, even if things don't go out your way in the next match, you'll still get another shot to keep improving.
Absolutely.
And
you as well. Good luck on your next run.
Yeah, and I might see you Pro A in the second set of brackets.
Oh boy.
So,
well, thanks everyone, and GG's once again.
You as well. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you all so much for coming out. We are going to close this section. I posted both of the runners' Twitches if you want to give them a follow. If anybody is interested in running this game, if you follow any of the runners, you can easily find the Discord to Super Mario Land 2, and you join the community, ask for help, and a million people will start helping you and teaching you all the strats. There's a ton of different categories to learn, the fastest one being under 3 minutes, and then there's all levels, which takes close to 40 minutes. So depending on what your style of gameplay, there's plenty you can do with this game. But thank you all so much. It was wonderful being here, and I wish you all the best.